Chelsea Piers, red, white, and blue, sports complex, rock climbing walls, weight rooms, money tracks, volleyball court, all kinds of things to help you get in shape. Got plenty of things to help you get back out of shape too, like the brewery, a couple of restaurants, catering hall. But look to the Empire State Building, look to his left, you can see just the top of the Chrysler Building. Only spot on this trip, you can see those two skyscrapers together. 2 years apart in age, 25 stories apart in height. Jean Nouvel designed the blue tower on your left, that interesting glass that comes from China. That's called 111th Avenue. It's condominiums. And there are deals to be had at Manhattan Island. The penthouse on the top of that building was just bought at a 30% discount about 6 weeks ago, $13.5 million. Might have been bought by the guy with the yacht. It's one handsome boat. That's probably worth $40 million. Over that yacht, by the way, that's a driving range, you golf enthusiasts. Work on your drive, because that yacht can motivate you to hit your ball really long, get your form down for the Masters. That's open till midnight tonight, by the way, that driving range. Or the Chelsea Piers. Then we also have the Frank Gehry design building, the silver cladding, which is by IAC, the internet conglomerate. American-born architect always uses silver cladding on his buildings. Attributes that to his fascination with fish scales when he was a young boy. Back on your right, I've been neglecting New Jersey, sorry about that, but here's Hoboken, New Jersey on your right. Frank Sinatra was brought up over here. And this singer, old Blue Eyes, we call him. And then on the bluff, that's Stevens Tech. John Stevens helped develop the first steam-driven ferry boat system in North America. And all kinds of ferry boats going back and forth between Manhattan and New Jersey. So that fine engineering school we're passing. Back on your left is a pier. It's got big slabs of concrete on it, Pier 54. That's where the Titanic was headed. In 1912, I believe everybody on board probably knows it didn't make it. It's at 14th Street, the edge of the meatpacking district, very trendy neighborhood. The building with the green windows, light green windows. It's a very trendy standard hotel, small rooms, great views. But that hotel actually straddles a very small part of the Highline Park, which is that elevated railroad tracks that are made into a park, 25 feet above street level. The southern entrance to the park is right on the southern side of that standard hotel. It's a neighborhood that we're passing with a lot of great restaurants, Budokan, Spice Market, Pastiche, Carpetta. Food Network's over there for you Rachel Ray fans. In fact, go to 15th Street and 9th Avenue, the Chelsea Market Building, for some really great food right after this trip. Hurry down there because it closes kind of early. Apple Computer Store, bars, clubs, all in this neighborhood we're passing. But here's a neighborhood that's quite different, more residential. It's called the West Village. Very charming neighborhood away from the waterfront. You'll find single-family homes, which are extremely rare in Manhattan, dating from the early 1800s in many cases. Daniel Day-Lewis owns one of those townhouses, as they call it. Matthew Broderick considered us the Parker have a townhouse here. NASCAR fans, Jimmy Johnson owns an apartment in the building with the brown sides and kind of gray-green windows. Probably bought it for his wife, actually. The red building, Palazzo Chapo, built by Julian Schnabel, the artist-filmmaker. That's where Richard Gere just sold his condominium. Daily Show fans, Jon Stewart has a place over here. Then we got these glass towers designed by Richard Meyer. The middle tower is where Calvin Klein has the top 3 stories of the building. That's what they call the triplex apartment. The third tower with the wider windows is where Jim Carrey was recently renting somebody's apartment for $25,000 a month. He's working on a film that's about to open in a couple months, Mr. Popper's Penguins, based on a children's book. And between the second and third glass towers on your left, that's Perry Street in the West Village, where Carrie Bradshaw used to live. And I know some of my passengers know what I'm talking about. Want to hang out with New Yorkers? Here's where you can do it on your left. Look at all these folks on your left enjoying this lovely day. I'm down here for sunset. Can't quite make it tonight, but maybe tomorrow night. It's called Christopher Street Pier, Pier 45. Grab some food and drink in the charming West Village and make your way down to the pier. Now, back on your right is the old Erie Lackawanna train station in New Jersey. Those 6 boat slips aren't used anymore. But that's a powerful symbol of how important shipping was to early history. Before we had all of our tunnels and our bridge. Attaching Manhattan to New Jersey, the only way you get people and supplies between those places, of course, was by boat. Barges, ferry boats, etc. That's one of many places they used to leave from. You can get over there by taking a PATH train from Manhattan, PATH. It's a small town compared to Manhattan. Red Hell Boat on your left, behind a few of you, that's one of our fire boats. 343 in fact, that's named after the number of fire personnel we lost on 9/11. Behind that fireboat is a building getting blocked. It's got gray siding and black windows. That's where Daniel Radcliffe has a condominium. Most of you know he's on Broadway right now and how to succeed in business while really trying. Got great reviews. Now in the middle of Manhattan, as we pass Pier 40, there's this neighborhood called Soho, supposed to mean south of Houston Street. It's a neighborhood of light industrial buildings dating from the late 1800s, finished off in ornamental cast iron. That was new technology back then. Industry kind of moved out in the 1950s and 60s. Artists moved in, started living loft style, coined the name Soho. And after the artists, of course, came galleries, shops, restaurants. You might like casual clothing, might need some. Go to Broadway between Canal and Houston Streets. A lot of stores selling jeans, sweatshirts, sneakers, boots. We're crossing a tunnel though right now. Look on either side of the boat. And these are the vents for the Holland Tunnel. It's actually named after Clifford Holland. He's the guy who engineered the tunnel. It's the first tunnel built underneath water for internal combustion vehicles, so it's definitely a landmark. These on the Canal Street, which goes over to New York's Chinatown and the Manhattan Bridge. Where we're going to be eventually. Well, the neighborhood on your left, though, it's shaped like a triangle. It's below Canal Street, so they call it Tribeca, triangle below Canal. This is where people live loft style. These old warehouse and factory buildings. It's where JFK Jr. and his wife had the loft, for example. Merrill Street, it's got a penthouse right there at the water's edge. Mike Myers, Nathan Lane, Billy Crystal, Justin Timberlake, Daniel Craig, all have places here. Robert De Niro partially owns 3 restaurants in the neighborhood. Tribeca Grill on Greenwich Street might be a good choice for you. 375 Greenwich. It's a building with a clock on top of it, a lot of glass. Until 1992, that was used by Lehman Brothers, financial firm. Most of you Americans know that was one of the first firms to go down in a recession. In 92, they moved up to Times Square. Building with a gold pyramid is the Federal Courthouse in Foley Square. That's where Bernard Madoff showed up over 2 years ago to exchange his penthouse for a much smaller place to live. 8 by 10 foot cell right next to that building. He's in a similar cell down in North Carolina now for 150 years. Gold statues on our municipal building. We'll see that again. That's at the foot of the Brooklyn Bridge. There's the Woolworth building with a screen oxidized copper top, 56 stories high. Franklin Woolworth had that one built. He, of course, in the 5 and dime store empire. Big glass tower coming up on your left with a curved facade.